I'm Scott Seagren, and I am a conflict coach. Conflict coaching really was developed probably in the last 10 years because people were finding that in the midst of litigation and even in the midst of mediations, where parties would come together, work out their differences, and then go off, sometimes there would be built-in resentments. My passion is in letting people open up the possibility that conflict can actually be an opportunity in their life. I was down at the Board of Trade for almost 20 years, and a very intense environment, and I thrived on the intensity of it. So I had a situation with my dad, who was my business partner, where we had differences of opinion about where the business was going, and I chose to leave the business rather than deal with the conflict. It broke my heart, and I'm sure it broke his heart too. There was a lot of learning, a lot of prayer, a lot of soul searching. We tried to come together and talk about what the positions were. We could never come together and talk about how much our hearts were broken. You know, you can wear that victim role. We wear it like a backpack. We take it with us everywhere we go. And at some point, I had to ask myself, is this just the way that I'm going to be the rest of my life? Boy, you know, I spent the better part of 2 years searching for what was my faith. Where had my sense of God gone to carry me through that difficult time? It ripped up my definition of what God was, and ripped up my definition of what compassion was, and threw it away, and had to be filled in by something that was very present. So my definition of God, my definition of faith, became not something that I grew up with, but something that had to be an act. It had to be a verb. It had to be something that was active, that I was practicing at that moment, or else it was meaningless. I was asked to give a workshop on conflict resolution skills, and I called him, and I invited him to my workshop. 5 minutes before the workshop, he walked in with my brother and asked some good hard questions. So since that time, we've had a couple of conversations. It hasn't been resolved. There's still scars from it. I have to live it every moment. I can't fix it and then walk away from it. You think heaven is always up above you. Heaven is this beautiful, lush place of peace. And it is. And I'm finding that it's not a place that's over there. It's actually a place that also exists in the midst of all the chaos.